Now everybody scream enough respect to the X. Enough respect given.
What you just saw was an Indian actress, and the device in her hand was apparently the OnePlus Open. Now, there is no proof that that is the device it was. We're just going by the renders we have seen, because as it turns out, there is another device that looks very similar to it, the Oppo Find N3. Now, Oppo and OnePlus both decide to design this foldable phone and sell them in different regions of the world under different names. So the Find N3 and the OnePlus Open are the exact same device. Maybe they changed a spec here or there, I'm pretty sure. But physically, they are the same device. This is striking to me simply because people adore the passport size of the Find N1 and N2. Even Google took that same design for their Pixel Fold. So why they would go with the long form foldable, I don't know. I do wish they stayed with the passport size device, because those are not very popular, and a popular brand like OnePlus would help push that foldable design to the masses that much more than what we currently have. So, as of October 12th, you can pre-order, or at least reserve, your OnePlus Open. Now, the leaked price is $1,700. That undercuts the Samsungs and Google Pixels Folds of the world by at least $100 at the lowest tier. Now, the price isn't what I would have liked to see. It's still up there. $1,700 for any device is kind of high. But the fact that it is lower to get into a folding device in the Americas now, that's a good thing. They have still kept true to their word of being at least somewhat cheaper than the alternatives. Personally, I would have liked to see the price start at maybe $1,200 to $1,300 and go up to about $1,500. So no matter which tier you get, it is still cheaper than getting the lowest tier of the other devices that are available. I guess we'll see what kind of pre-order bonuses come with the device. Maybe their new earbuds, maybe some of their CMF products to help take the sting out of the price tag. But at least there is now a third foldable option in the US for foldable devices. Well, the PS5 just got an upgrade of sorts in both the digital model and the disc version as well. Now, I don't have a PS5, but I know it was a chunky boy, and it was thick, but it did look cool, very alien-like in its design, and I do appreciate that. This new slim one is more of the same design, the same form, but in a much more compact body. The price is the same as the original PS5, with one main difference. The digital version actually costs more than the original digital version. So before the digital was $399, I think this one is now $449, and the disc version is the same $499. One thing I didn't know when I was telling you guys previously about this new PS5 Slim is that it has a modular design akin to stuff like the Sega CD and the 32X. You're able to add the disk drive to the digital version after the fact. So you could save a few bucks up front, But if you do want a disc drive added, it'll cost you an extra $80. So in the end, you will end up paying more than you would if you just bought the disc version at first. But still, it's a cool idea. I like what Sony is doing. I always like the look of the disc version a little bit more than the digital version of the original PS5. This allows you to have both looks if you so choose. But it is something to note, as in the next month they're also going to release the PlayStation Portal, a device that I reported on in a prior vid. That is going to retail for $200. It might be somewhat of a bundle for the holiday, one could assume. But I do look forward to seeing this thing myself. It might just finally sway me to get a PS5. But like I said, the Portal has piqued my interest. I just need a PS5 to actually go with it now. Staying with what Sony seems to be trying to deliver this holiday, they've also announced a new pair of earbuds. They seem to be more centered on the gaming experience. From what I've read, they sound great. They are in line with the I think the 1000 XM5s. That is Sony's top-end earbud, but these ones apparently have very low latency. So when you are playing your games, what you see on screen does match what you hear. Now, according to the article from Digital Digest, these things will come in at $200. You can pre-order them, and they're great. Now that's saying a lot, as there are a few companies out there that have pushed the gaming headphones and gaming earbuds. Just off the top of my head, I know ROG has one that kind of really matches the ROG Ally quite well. So for Digital Digest, a very trusted tech review site, to give these in-zone buds, a top recommendation over some of the more popular gaming earbuds, is of interest to me. But for what they deliver, if you are big into gaming and you want an all-in-one solution for your wireless audio, this might be something to take a look at. So the Surface Duo 1 reached its end of life about a month or so ago. So those who do have the device are left with a conundrum, what exactly to do with it. An ex-Microsoft employee has been working on a Android 14 update for the Surface Duo 1 and 2. Now, according to Windows Central, there's now a much easier pathway to get the Android 14 update to your device. Now, it is to note, this is not an official update. This is not from Microsoft. It's from someone who knows what he is doing and wants to see, at least in my opinion, see the Duo reach somewhat of its full potential and, keep up with some of these other devices that are out there. So this is a community-made update, but from what I've heard, from what I've seen, it actually runs pretty well. There are bugs to it, but that is to be expected. But this update does come with over-the-ear updates, so as he works on Android 14, he can send the updates right to your devices to try to fix the bugs as time goes on. Because anything to make the Duo experience seem new and fresh is very welcomed in my book. Not too long ago, I spoke of the Honor Magic V2, pretty much the folding device I'm waiting to be released internationally, so I can finally have a foldable device that, you know, conforms to my personal needs. And it looks amazing. That purple, I can't wait. But all that aside, Honor has just announced that they're making a new version, the Honor Magic Vs2, which is supposed to be even slimmer than the original Honor Magic V2. I don't know how thin it could possibly be, as the V2 is, when closed, is about as thin as an iPhone, maybe a little less. And you know, that's saying something, because when it's opened, that's just about half the width of an iPhone there. And that's pretty thin. And they say the Vs2 is less than that. That is something I would love to see. They also said that it will probably come in at a cheaper price point as well, simply because the chipset inside is not the latest Snapdragon chip either. So they have made the device thinner. They've found a way to cut the price of the device, and it's also coming out relatively soon. As for events this week, we had surprisingly two. One which was highly advertised, and one that kind of went under the radar unless you were really into the software aspect of the tech that you used. Let's start off with the Google event. Google held their annual Pixel event this week. We knew it was coming. They were going to announce a few devices. The devices were leaked weeks in advance. Everything from the look to new features to possible software updates. Everything was known about these things. They announced the Pixel 8, Pixel 8 Pro, the Pixel Watch 2, and software updates for the Pixel Buds Pro. I was actually hoping that there would be a device that wasn't leaked, a Pixel Flip, but that didn't come this time around. So as for what they did have, they had the Pixel 8 and the Pixel 8 Pro. The devices look the same. More, I guess, from what I've seen, what I've read, it's a bit more rounded on the edges for a better hold. A lot like what the iPhone 15 has done, better ergonomics. But the big thing they had there was, as always, their software. They now have some very deep AI integration into all aspects of the software of the phone. There's this one feature that really stood out to me, where you could take a group shot and the camera will take a burst shot of that group shot. Then if someone had their eyes closed, someone didn't smile, you can go in after the fact, swipe through all of the burst shots that it took and find the face that you like and swap out the face to make this amalgam of a picture that didn't actually exist. But I do like it. I like that the phone is capable of doing that. There were other things there. They've always been good with their mobile software. I mean, it's actually pretty cool what these devices can do. And so far, most of these things are seemingly only on the Pixel line of devices. So they did get my interest this year with what their phones can do. The Pixel Watch, again, physically looks like the older watch. The software has been updated to better suit the user this time around. There were little things with the Pixel Watch that most were not too happy with. One of them was the watch didn't know when to stop a workout. The Pixel Watch just paused and kept on going. So you didn't always have an accurate account of the workout that you did. They updated that to work properly. The watch can also now check your stress. Apparently, it monitors fluctuations in your skin, in your sweat, and things along those lines, to let you know that something here is making you not at ease. Then it will actually give options as to what you can do to help de-stress yourself. The watch has better battery life this time around. The original watch, if you had your screen on the entire time, would last you not even a full day. I would use lift to wake, and then when I put my arm down, the screen would go back to sleep. With that on, with the original watch, you would get a day plus. With this one, with your screen on all the time, it still gets a day plus. And it's not a bigger battery inside, it's just better optimized software. So, you know, good on them for that. It costs the same as the watch last year. So if you have the original, you may or may not want to upgrade to this one. Last, they have the Pixel Buds Pro. Now, these buds are the same as the buds released about a year and change ago. No physical change whatsoever. New colors to match the colorways of the new phone, so that's cool. There's a blue now and a type of beige. But the software, again, has updated. So if you have the older buds, you're good. If you don't, you have two new colors to choose from, and you will also get the new software. One of the features that has been touted with other buds before, it can detect speech. So when you are playing your buds and you start a conversation, the buds know to drop itself to ambient mode, so you can better hear the person, and when your conversation is done, it brings your music back up. So it's a few little things that, you know, quality of life changes that have come to the Pixel Buds Pro, and they're, you know, welcomed. Not to be left out in the dark, Samsung also had an event this week. Now, this event was their developer conference, where so not really for the everyday guy, but for those who might want to use the Samsung software to build into their own devices, so everything can communicate that much better. They spoke on One UI 6 and some of the updates coming to that, things that they feel make it easier to use and more intuitive to use. The main thing though with the One UI update that at least caught my attention, the Samsung Studio. It's a video and picture editing tool built right into the phone, a lot like what Huawei has, and to an extent Apple as well. So do I need this one? Of course not, but I do remember a time, I think it was with the Note 7, that Samsung did have a similar app or tool, and for some reason they took it out of the devices. So I'm guessing this is their way of trying to bring it back, and now it's much more robust. It just might be easier and faster when I'm on the go. So I am very excited about that. As far as new devices go, they did unveil the new Samsung smart tags. It's the same thing as the Apple tags. You know, when something's lost, these things will detect where they are. You put them on your dog, your cat, your suitcase, your bag. This time around, it looks kind of like a lock. One of the actually very impressive things, 700 plus days in a standby time. So you can really just set that thing down and forget about it. And as long as you come back to it within a year or so, you're good. So Samsung did have that. It was a surprise to me, and a lot of what they did feature at this developer conference was of interest to me, and such I share with you. With that said, my name is NG, the Neon X, and talking about what happened last week, this week, this is what I'm into.